I'm Kevin Tarpey, and this is散歩日和. During a busy day at work, I found myself stealing a moment to gaze out the window and yearn for the freedom of the open road. Taking advantage of a quick break, I turned to Google Maps to explore potential walking spots and came across Koyama Ike. Although I had heard of it before, this was the first time it truly caught my eye. Intrigued, I delved into research about this locale. I encountered conflicting information. One source touted it as the largest pond in Japan. At the same time, another insisted it was the biggest lake in Tottori Prefecture. The more I delved, the more perplexed I became. Some sites even refer to it as a lake and a pond on the same page. Determined to unravel this mystery, I visited Koyama Ike to settle the debate firsthand. After stepping off the train, I walked to the picturesque Koyama Ike Oasis Park on the eastern shore. My first stop was the enchanting flower garden. Despite it not being the peak season for blossoms, the area was a delightful place for a leisurely stroll. Next, I followed the path through a grassy field by the water, with only a few early risers like myself. I stumbled upon sections of dense vegetation, which I realized were thriving habitats for insects, birds, and wildflowers. The shoreline and surface of Koyama Ike were alive with a large variety of bird species: great egrets, spot-billed ducks, grebes, black kites, kingfishers, and cormorants. I watched the latter dive underwater and try to guess where they would resurface. Koyama Ike boasts several islands, and one of them, Aoshima, is accessible via a bridge. As I strolled along the island's promenade, I was captivated by the serene beauty of the many cherry trees adorning the path. While taking in the scenery, I noticed an unusual sight: a cluster of rocks off the coast. These rocks, known as ishigama, were once used as part of a traditional fishing technique. Locals would prod gaps in the stones to drive crucian carp into capture. It's moments like these that make exploring Japan so captivating, uncovering unique local customs and traditions that add depth to the experience. Eager for a better view, I hiked to the island's highest point. Reaching the observation platform at the summit, I was rewarded with a sweeping vista stretching to the Sea of Japan. It's fascinating to think that Koyama Ike was once a bay connected to the sea. Over time, the shifting sands transformed it into a secluded lake. Or is it a pond? I conducted an informal poll while walking to settle the debate. The first two people I asked leaned towards pond, leading me to believe the matter was resolved. However, when I approached an elderly gentleman, he gazed at the expanse of water and declared, "It's a lake." The final person, a visitor to the area, wisely chose not to take sides, saying, "I'm not from around here, so I wouldn't know." Since the results of my poll were inconclusive, I had to trust my own judgment. After strolling along the expansive 18-kilometer shoreline of Koyama Ike, I've concluded that it's a lake. But don't just take my word for it. Go for a leisurely walk along Koyama Ike and decide for yourself.